Hey friends, this is Rodney Watson again. I want to say good morning to you. I guess it's a little bit after daylight here. I'm down here on 269 coming into District 3. I believe I'm a little bit outside of my district right here. I'm at the old Birmingham lumber location where the tornado blew this building away. But there used to be a Birmingham lumber business right here, a pretty good complex here, and they sold lumber to this whole district down here when they was building houses. Probably that's been better than 20 years ago, maybe 25. It shut down. I knew one of the owners, and but I brought you out. I come out here and I want you to see something in District 3. This is a 4-lane right here, 269. All right, and it was 4-lane. I guess when I was a kid or before, as long as I can remember, it's been a 4-lane. And it has a lot of traffic on it. But I'm trying to tell you about the politics around District 3. And about Jimmy going down here to this dump, shutting these jobs down. I guess I might speak in code a little bit today, because you're not supposed to talk about what I've got to talk about, especially being the person that I am. I've already been called a racist, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not the racist. And I've said that if I win this commission seat, that I've got to fight every single day for District 3. And I said all the industry was out here at one time. You had your coal mines, U.S. Steel. Well, you can see the stacks right over there. That's old U.S. Steel over there, I believe. I might be too far over. The U.S. Steel was right over there. Birmingham down here hauled the ore from out of South America. I worked down there a while. We hauled El Payo ore. I think it was El Payo. And we hauled pig iron on them barges. My brother had 24 years in over at U.S. Steel. This was a good business right here. The coal mines, all back down in Oak Grove and all. And some of them still running. There was a tractor dealer over in Adamsville. The money was over here. Now a lot of the money lived on the other side of town, but the money was made on the western side of town. Alright? And the industry left because of the economy and the changing economy. Alright? But what I'm trying to show you right here, this is a 4-lane. They don't 4-lane highways because they're going to abandon an area. I'm going to take you over at Lakeshore. Some of that's District 3. Lakeshore is a recent development that is recently going through what we've been going through over here for 20 years. You remember off Lakeshore, all that development they did 20 years ago. It was going to be the going thing. And Lakeshore continues on into Bessemer, down there around Shannon. Well, I was trying to sell a church over there to a group of, there was Hindus. They were going to put them a temple over there in a church. And a lawyer had that over there, and I was trying to get these people to buy this church. And we was going back and forth with an attorney that was selling the building, which he was a real estate agent, but he was an attorney. That was his training in school. He told me, this has been about 2 years ago. And see, if you hadn't studied politics in Jefferson County and Alabama, you wouldn't understand this. You know, we just live over here, and I keep saying we're out here flopping in the wind. I'm telling you, I got to fight every day when I go up there for District 3. And this is the reason. Politics cut off the funding to Lakeshore. They started that project. It was supposed to go on into Shannon. Somebody else wanted the money. Now Lakeshore is still chugging along, but it's just all it can do. It's like the little engine that can just barely and they're struggling. But before it wasn't even a struggle because it had the funding. That's a recent example of what I'm talking about. This happened over here 20 years ago. Longer than that. And the people say, well, the industry left. Well, I'm not going to tell you the industry didn't leave. I'm not going to tell you that the economy hasn't forced it out or the marketplace. But I'm telling you, the redevelopment didn't come in. It went down to Tuscaloosa. And McCalla picked up some residual effects off of Mercedes. This is 20 years ago. But you've got to study politics in Alabama to understand what I'm telling you. And a man called me the racist. If you live in District 3, if you've moved into District 3 in the last 20 years, if you could have left and you didn't leave District 3, you're not the racist. Alright? We may sit around and talk about different stuff and trash and where it's coming from and bad behavior and who does what. But if you're still in District 3, you're not the racist. You understand what I'm telling you? And I said this to a lady last week on the phone. If you don't study the politics in Alabama, you don't understand this. But when there was a shift in migration, when people started swapping where they lived, people started leaving this side of town, this District 3. They wanted to get out of here. I ain't got to tell you why. Well, there was political power and influence over here. And it went to the other side of town. The money was still here, but they saw a change coming they didn't like. And they moved. They took their money and they took their political interest with them. The money was right here. The state of Alabama cannot print its own money like the federal government. There's a limited amount of money to go around. I told you politics is about who gets what. And I get mad thinking about it. Because in any other economic situation, when new people come in and they pay premium for houses, they bring in the incomes, they're great people, they're school teachers, they're lawyers, they're dentists, and they're buying $500,000 houses and up in neighborhoods. In any other economic situation, I've been in the real estate business most of my working life in some aspect. When new money comes in, it's supposed to drive prices up. But when you throw racism into it, it drives prices down. And the racism plays out in the political world down there in the state of Alabama, where the funding and the regional planners meet. There was plans for this side of town, and they didn't nothing change about this side of town except the political powers. And there was you talk about undertones, racial undertones, we're going to talk about them. It ain't coming from me. I'll show you something. I'm a Republican. I'm a union member. I believe in free market principles. I want to bring free market principles back. I want to use free market principles to bring industry back to District 3. I want to put the attention back on District 3. I don't care about the racism. I know the people's here to do the work. I know the land is here. I know if you just look at it from an economic standpoint and you take race out, there's no reason that we don't have industry out here. But I'm going to give you the reason. Out of the State House in Alabama, there's 25 black representatives. That's all. 25 out of 102. What changed about District 3? Did the land change? Did the working people change? The political interest changed. When something else changed that they didn't like in Montgomery. There's 25 black representatives out of 102. You can't make that work nowhere. If those 25 are representing whatever district they're representing, they're going to get neglected. There's 5, if I'll count it right. I think it's if I counted right, there's 5 black senators out of all the other ones in the state of Alabama. It's not District 3. You know, our representatives, we're not, you know, they don't represent us. But what I'm telling you is when you have these kind of numbers, these ratios, and it's representative of that those ratios that shows have changed where you live, it don't matter what color you are, they're going to siphon money off. I didn't want to get into all this because I still got to talk about the consent decree that is pretty much against working people. See, it's racism. It's racism in the state is what it is. It's not me. It's not me. If you live in District 3 and you're staying in District 3, you've moved into District 3, you're not the problem. No matter what color you are, what race you are, you're not the problem. We run our mouths and we talk about people, but we're out here, we're all in the same boat. I didn't just want to come out and say it, but a man called me a racist, and that's what makes me so mad. I'm not the racist. A stadium is going downtown because it's going back in their favor. It's going back in the state's favor. Downtown, it ain't District 3 people buying them condominiums downtown. I told you politics is about who gets what. District 3 had the industry, we had the earnings, the economy changed, and there was no interest in developing this. We had a hospital right down the road down here. Had this business right here, Birmingham Lumber. Adamsville was building up. Down there at Shannon Road. What changed? What changed down there in Shannon, off of Lakeshore? What changed from the time they started building it to today? What's changing downtown where the stadium's going to be built? You tell me. I wouldn't have said this 5 years ago because I couldn't see it. You know what I mean? Study politics. I'm a Republican. I believe in free markets, but I know politics is about who gets what. So goes Birmingham, so goes the state of Alabama. If you didn't know that. They got Birmingham going the way they want it. And they done it through this regional planning commission. I'm going to tell you one more time. They're not getting a stadium downtown. And District 3 can't get our roads cleaned up because I'm the racist. Thank you.